We were never rattled, ever, because we're always in the moment, always in the present, always extremely calm, always looking at the reality of the situation and not letting our emotions cloud our execution. I switched my mind to something else. I switched my mode into something else. Stone cold killer. You gotta put yourself in that cage. When I'm in that cage, bro, don't touch me. For me, it's the equivalent of Maximus Decimus Meridius in Gladiator picking up the dirt, smelling the dirt. It's go time.
Up before the dawn, ready for Judgment Day. A lethal underdog, walking on to make 'em pay. Woke up feeling dangerous. That stuff so contagious. We got 10 toes down, so let the haters say what they say.
If you ain't Argent Brown, you don't matter anyway. Woke up feeling dangerous. That's time.
We got that dog check. Found in a way you make the wrong bet. If you're doubting our game, we give our last breath. One more play, and we'll make a name. We're ready for Judgment Day. Against the world. My city is on the brink tonight. We're about to go. I'm hearing the crowd begin to rise in stereo. Sky's bringing Armageddon in off the lake. Thunder rolls. And all the people shouting out a name. Cleveland, born to fight and believe in. We ride or die, hear 'em screaming. Every boy and girl. Cleveland against the world. Watch my city rock. Feel my city roll. Watch my city rock. We go Cleveland, born to fight and believe in. We ride or die, hear 'em screaming. Every boy and girl. We are Cleveland, born to fight and believe in. We ride or die, hear 'em screaming. Every boy and girl. Every boy and girl. Against the world.
Welcome, everybody. Here we go. We are ready to rock, and we are here for week 2. I think this is awesome. Week 2, Dad. I have my dad with me, Brownie Post _
Hey guys.
Dan. My dad's with me. Mike Restano might also be joining live from the tailgate as well.
Great.
So we have an opportunity to check in on the tailgate. Before we get started, I just want to give a shout out to everybody in chat. We've got L Dial 85, Mario G, Hambones in the house, Ara's here, Keith C. We have our first member.
Wow,
We have our first member.
That was quick.
Ara has okay. That's what I was gonna say too. We'll save that here for a second. But Ara, you are officially the first Brownie Post Game member on YouTube, and I'm going to be sending you a very special gift because you did that. But you jumped the gun. You still get the special gift. Who else? We got Ryan Brown's here. Keith C's in the house. CH is here. My channel. Lace Nix. Lace, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Graham McFarlane. Everybody. Janro Brothers, what's up? So hey guys, so this is the Brownie Post Game Show. Very quickly before we kick it off for the Texans week 2, just big thanks to a couple of the sponsors of the channel. Thrive Fantasy is the one that's right there in the middle, so you can, if you QR code that and sign up, if you do like the DraftKings or the any of the type of like, daily fantasy betting, that kind of thing. It's awesome. So go ahead and sign up with Thrive. They're a new kind of startup, and we're working together on that. Also, Schlegel Law is there. So for any legal needs in the Columbus, Ohio area, reach out to the Schlegel Law Firm. Dogwoofs.com. If you just, instead of going to Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff and trying to figure out what the Browns players and coaches and personnel are saying, just go to dogwoofs.com. There it is. Just popped up. Sabo Apparel is hooking us up with some shirts and everything that we're going to be able to give away. Just so much awesome stuff, guys. So just really quick shout out. Next, as Ara has already shown everybody, we now have the ability for people to join the actual channel as like really paid subscribers. So you have different tiers, and you get to use like a whole bunch of cool emojis and everything. So I'll show you the emojis you can use. Ara is currently the only other person other than my account who can start using the Brownie Post Game emojis live in chat, which is awesome. So, yes, guys, we are excited. It's week 2. We may have Restano Bonzo 1273 on Twitter. We may have him jumping in as well to live from the Muni lot to give an update. And if so, we'll go to the Zoom channel and we'll be good to go. There he is. Ara's in there with the emojis. So yeah, lots of awesome stuff. Dad, why don't you kick us off? Give us some thoughts on today and what you think is going to happen.
Well, first and foremost, no injuries. We can't go down like the Giants did the other night. They lost their captain to a broken leg in the middle of the game. I mean, it was bad enough losing Wills last week, and also now we lost Walker, and we got Harrison, I guess, is he got kicked out of the game, so hopefully he's back and playing well. So that's first and foremost. Second, I think we got about 7 guys on the team, starters that played last week, that screwed up in one capacity or another. No one person lost it, which is great. I hate to see a kicker lose it or a quarterback throw a bad interception, or how the Giants lost the other night. They virtually won the game when they missed the field goal, Washington, and then the guy jumps off sides as they miss the field goal, gives them another try 5 yards closer, puts it right down the middle, and they lose. I don't want to see that. These 7 guys have something to prove, some on offense, some on defense. So they're motivated. These guys want to get to 1-on-1 really bad. They want to correct it. They want to put that loss to Kansas City in the rearview mirror. and then start a new streak. And this team, like last year, has a really good ability, I think, to bounce back. I know what the offense can do. I've seen it all last year. I know what it did against Kansas City. I know what it's going to do today. It's the defense that needs to step up today and show what they can do against a team they should beat, a team they're favored to win by 12.5 points. When was the last time we were 12.5 point favorites? I mean, that's unthinkable. And yet these are the games in the past with different teams, different coaches that we have lost, that we just didn't get up for. We didn't show up. We played terrible. That's not the same team that I see going forward under Stefanski. He will have them ready. Will Joe Jackson or Joe Woods have his side of the ball ready? Going to be interesting to see, exciting to watch. I can't wait.
Yeah, I agree. And really quick, just to go through some of the injuries that we have that are going on. So people are asking about who's playing and who's not. It looks like Odell is out, and everybody else is questionable right now, including Jedrick, but he's very questionable.
I hope they hold him out. I mean, give Hudson a chance. Give whoever the other backup, Hubbard, if he plays.
He's out. He's out too. Sorry.
Oh, Hubbard's out. All right. So
yeah. So the two guys that are out are Odell and Hubbard. So.
All right. So, but still, I'd hold Willis out, especially if it's even close to being sensitive or touchy or whatever. Putting all that weight physically, on his leg. If he needs another week, great. There's no hurry to bring him back. Let's see what Hudson can do.
Yeah. Yeah. We got Grant. New member, my channel. Welcome. You are the second full join subscriber to Brownie Postgame, my channel. Welcome in. Big ups. Let's get some emojis going for the second member of the channel. Thank you very much, my channel.
Great.
Looking at what's going on. So Grant Delpit with a full practice. So he's playing, which is pretty awesome. Jack Conklin was limited, but he's playing. The game status is he's in. Right. Michael Dunn is a guard who is questionable with limited practice. Troy Hill practice full. He's questionable still though. Everybody else, Schwartz had limited practice with a knee issue. He's questionable. And then Jedrick Wills did not practice all week with that ankle and is listed as questionable, but he's not out. JC Treaders also did not practice Wednesday, Thursday, but did have limited practice on Friday. He is also questionable.
Right.
From the Houston Texans, the only person that is out is Deshaun Watson, non-injury related, obviously, and everybody else is in. So Pharaoh Brown, ex-Cleveland Brown, Pharaoh Brown, limited practice, he's playing. And then Kamu Grungler Hill, a linebacker, had illness, did not practice. That might be COVID. I do not know. So it looks like the Houston Texans are going to be pretty much full strength. Right? Pretty much full strength. And we are still missing our most explosive wide receiver, our starting left tackle, which is a little bit scary. And that's one of the things that Rastano was saying on the Wednesday show, was the fear that this is kind of a silly game because we're favored by so much, that if we happen to lose a player because of, man, like somebody's injured and then Baker gets hit from the left side because Jedrick's not there to protect him, man, really, really scary. So we just hope
we lose like 7 coaches to COVID. Like, I'm not sure which team it was, Saints or somebody. 7 of their coaches they have out. We didn't lose anybody to COVID so far. So let's keep our fingers crossed that doesn't happen to us down the road.
Averly Doe said that Wills is starting today. So it looks like Wills is going to play. Hopefully he's okay and it's not super bad. He hadn't practiced all week, so that's good if he's out there. I'm excited to see Grant Delpit play. I mean, I don't have like really high expectations for that. I don't know how many snaps he's going to see. I would say he's going to get a handful of snaps and see what he can do.
I mean, you gotta bite the bullet sometimes, sort of like Greedy Williams. Let's see how many snaps he gets today. Let's see what he does. Let's see if we get an interception. let's see if we get a tip ball go our way early. Before I forget, my prediction is I think the defense steps up. I think the offense does well. Hometown crowd, 35-7.
Got it. Just got a text from Ristano, 35-7. Wow. I would love that. That'd be amazing. And then it would be Case Keenum time there, hopefully.
Right.
Ristano says he's trying to join the Zoom, but he's in a dead zone. I think I don't think they have good internet in the Muni lot. He's going to try when he gets into the stadium.
They were lining up last night to go into the Muni lot. That's how excited they were about tailgating this morning. And no alcohol. You're evidently not allowed to have, like people are going to pay attention to that. But the other thing I thought was interesting, did you hear Stefanski's comment?
I did not. What was Stefanski's comment?
He said he appealed to the tailgaters. He said, I want
you to be loud, right?
Well, no, I want you to come in early. Get in your seat. Don't drag in the first 10 minutes of the game and have, only half the crowd there. Get your tailgate over, get your tail into the stadium, into your seat, and rock when we come out on the field.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, I'm sure that the crowd is going to go nuts today, right? I mean, this is a team that is I mean, this is the most anticipated team I think we've had in Cleveland, possibly. I mean, definitely in the modern time.
Absolutely, yeah, you're right.
So yeah, it's gonna be a fun one to watch. I fully expect us to win this one, but stranger things have happened. We got Tyrod Taylor coming back, back since the last time I think he played was when he got hurt.
Yeah, probably so.
So I don't know if
he's got moves left. I watched him in their win against Jacksonville. Defense, intercepted Trevor Lawrence 3 times. I mean, he had a couple of nice passes. I don't know if he got rocked a couple of times, but clearly once Tyrod had all time in the world to throw the ball. And then when he didn't, he ran right up the middle for like 30, 40 yards, sort of a la Jackson. But I think we can control him because he doesn't have the speed of a Jackson. And again, I'll go on record early. That my pet peeve, Miles and Clowney got to protect the edge. I can't tell you how many times I've sat there and watched them go nuts. A lot of times, Miles last year trying to get to the quarterback, and then they run inside of him or they run outside of him,
right? And
there's nobody there to protect the edge, especially when they have the little flat passes, sort of like semi screens out to the flat. That is so disheartening when that happens, especially if it's like a 3rd down and 6 or 3rd down and 4. I hope they take turns, Miles and Clowney. You charge this time, I protect the edge, vice versa, and don't give up that unexpected long run by somebody.
Yeah. Well, I'm rocking the Tyrod Taylor.
Wow.
The Tyrod Taylor, Hugh Jackson era jerseys today in just in respect to our guy, our fellow Hokie, Tyrod Taylor, who his reign in Cleveland as the starting quarterback brought us to where we are today with Baker Mayfield, right? So I had to give him the respect that he deserves. I got this jersey on sale. I got the jersey, but I owned a Tyrod Taylor jersey. I'm going to be one of the very few. So it deserved to be broken out today as Tyrod's coming back from Houston to be in there. I think honestly the offense is going to be just fine. If we could do what we did to the Chiefs, we're going to have our way with the Texans, right? So I'm not super worried about the offense. I think we're going to score a lot of points. Our defense, the Texans are actually fairly interesting on offense. I heard Pat McAfee interviewed Tyrod this week on his YouTube channel, and I listened to that. There's a lot of really interesting seasoned guys there in Houston. Now you'd think they should just like roll up and bail so they can start rebuilding, but they're not really doing that. They have some players on that team. They have some prove it guys on the Texans. I'm going to pull up their depth chart as I mentioned.
Who's backing up Taylor?
I will tell you here in a second. Davis Mills is backing up Taylor. The running backs, you've got Mark Ingram, Philip Lindsay, David Johnson, and Rex Burkhead. In terms of their running back situation, I mean, those are names that we're all familiar with.
Sure.
When it comes to the wide receivers, Danny Amendola, Brandon Cooks. I don't know much about Chris Conley, but he's there as well. Pharaoh Brown's their tight end, right? So Pharaoh Brown can play. Offensive line I don't know much about their offensive line, and I wasn't actually intrigued enough to even look at the PFFs on it, but the offensive line is what it is. So here's the thing about this team. They also have Christian Kirksey, the originator of the dog check, is actually on Houston as well. He had an interception last week against Trevor Lawrence. But I think the Texans are a little bit better than what people think, right? I think everybody's comparing it to like Deshaun Watson and when they had DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller and all those guys. I mean, this is a different team. But
they lost Watts too. So.
Yeah, J.J. Watts. They lost, Jadeveon Clowney, who we have now. So this is just a different team. But they're not giving up. This isn't a team like they're fielding every one of their players are, for the most part, I wouldn't say any of them are stars. They're all pretty mediocre players, but they're savvy veterans, right? And I think on offense, at least, on defense, man, there's not a lot on defense. Although they have T. Mitch, they've got T. Mitch, they got DeMarcus Walker, they've got Eric Murray. I mean, they've got like a bunch of old Browns, Browns guys who started in the past. So who knows, right? I don't think this is going to be a pushover game, but I think on paper we should dominate these guys. We're on the upswing trajectory, and this is a team that I think is shooting for best case to be like right around the 500 mark, which I think is a weird thing to do when you're rebuilding. Like, I think they're trying to put a team on the field that can win games, which is surprising.
Well, it's not their long-term answer. So Watson, got his issues, got his problems. They're probably trying to trade him to get some value. They need a top-notch quarterback to launch to the next level. Obviously, they could use some support all across both ends. And they could get that in the draft. They could upgrade, but until they get their guy at quarterback, like we have, like Baltimore does, like Pittsburgh, he's got the relic Ben there. But the Brady's of the world and the Mahomes of the world, you got to have a top-notch quarterback to get you to the Super Bowl. It might get you to the playoffs if they're lucky, with a Tyrod, but he's just a stopgap. And once they make their decision, I don't know who's coming out next year, whether there's somebody that really. You and I watched a little bit of the Miami game or the highlights. That quarterback is pretty good. And I watched the Alabama game, and that quarterback is good. I watched the Penn State game and against Penn State against Auburn, and they have two good quarterbacks. So I think a lot of talent's coming out next year. So
yeah,
if Texans can grab one for the future or trade for one, like you said, they could be moving up to the next level.
Hey, Max Nikolenko is in the house. DF Sports is here as well. I just want to give those guys shout outs. Troy Kozlowski's also here. Just want to say hi to Troy and Tim Zaylor. Guys, everybody here in the house for the pregame show. Everybody, if you've got a moment, please hit that like button for us. Help us out with the algorithm. Help us out with ranking a little bit higher for the pregame show to get a couple more views on that. Always appreciated. Smashing that like button. And then, as we were saying before, you now have the opportunity to actually join the channel as a paid contributor, which will unlock some fun little emojis here as well. I'll throw them in the chat as well, so you can unlock some of that as well if you happen to join the channel. If not, just happy to be a subscriber and hit the like button. All of these things help us. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting game. I think the Browns fans are going nuts today. Rastano was sending me pictures of what the Muni lot looks like. People are lined up. Sir Yacht was out there at 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. or something like that, saying people are out there. It is going to be a wild. I mean, they're going to be rocking and rolling in Cleveland today for this one, and it should be a fun one. I think Chubb goes over 100. This is one of those games that both Chubb and Kareem Hunt could go over 100. Baker's going to throw his first touchdown. If I had to guess, Baker's going to throw his first touchdown to Hooper.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's where it's going. He always happens to find those tight ends for it. I would love to see Jarvis get off the schneid and have Jarvis get a touchdown as well. I know he had a running touchdown last week, but it would be fun to just have him get a passing touchdown or pass catch, I should say. But I mean, in terms of this one, it should be a fun one. We should, we're gonna sit back. We got some chicken wings, so we have in the air fryer that are gonna be coming out. We're gonna be able to enjoy them,
Good.
and then we'll obviously be back for the post game show. But in terms of what we saw last week in the Kansas City game, the PFF scores were really, really interesting. And, Rastano was kind of going through them. Some of the really good ones. JOK scored very well in the PFF in the limited amount of snaps that he had. I'm really looking forward to him getting more opportunities, especially in this game, right? Get some more snaps, some more real live reps, to get him. And if we can have that same high PFF score for a rookie, him and Greg Newsome, and then have that carry on for the rest of the year, these guys are going to be really good at the end of the season once they get used to the speed of the game and start doing some stuff. We can't afford guys to be out there that are just ranking towards the bottom of the league in production. And the thing that I really like about PFF is it doesn't just take into consideration the stats that make it on the box score. They look at the situational awareness. They look at what they did, what position, where they should have been. Did they make the play? Did they not make the play? Did they get blocked out of their mind? All of these things come into play, and those are important things. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens on defense and if we can hold these guys. But the Texans' offense, they're going to be able to score points. I think they will.
Well, it'll be interesting. That's why I said I want the defense to step up. I think they will feed off of each other. They catch it, they get a sack, they get a tip ball, they get a fumble, they get an interception, they get a pick six. I mean, these guys are beyond taking their pictures in the end zone. I think they're going to feed off of that. If they can't get that, and if they can't get off the field, and we'll know that early, first possession, second by Houston, can they get off the field? Can they put pressure on? Can they stop the run up the middle? Can they do what they need to do on defense to get them to that next level to support the offense so it gives them good field position, and that the offense doesn't feel like we have to win the game at the end with whatever because we gave up too many points on the defensive side. So you're right. I'm looking for really more on the defensive side to see who really is going to step up, who's going to be that diamond in the rough that we didn't think about, and who's going to jump over who in terms of starting. I hope it's going to be a fun game. I'm looking forward to it.
So it looks like the spread right now is minus 13.
Wow.
Is the spread. So we're favored by 13 points. The money line is at minus 635, and the total has gone up for the over under, and
Right.
it looks like 49.1 points. Yesterday, I think it was at 47. So the money line is going up. The spread, I want to say the spread, I put it in the description of the video description. So if anybody can look, it's in there. We are significantly ranked higher in terms of what we can do here. In terms of that. I'm trying to go into the Texans. Let's check out the lineup.
The weather is supposed to be great. No excuse, sunny 70s and mild wind, six miles an hour. So no excuses there, that's for sure. Dry field, guys can make their cuts, and just hope they play smart.
Mm-hmm.
No dumb mistakes, disciplined. In the Giants Redskins game on Thursday night, I think they had 17 or 18 penalties, evenly distributed, back and forth between the two teams, and of course the critical one at the end. And if nothing else, Stefanski has brought discipline. We're not making those stupid. Nobody's perfect. You're obviously going to make mistakes as you go through and not hear a count or not hear a play or drop a ball or whatever. But the stupid ones, the head case ones where they're just not paying attention, those I think Stefanski has eliminated and the coaches have eliminated. And it's reflective on the second team, the third team, as we watch the preseason, how good they were. So I'm not looking for any mistakes today. I'm looking for a good, solid game.
So let me go through the PFF scores just to give you. We'll compare our defense versus their offense, and we'll vice versa this since we have them. Oh no, where did my camera go? Hold on a second. Can you guys, Dad? Can you still see me?
Yeah, I can still see you.
Okay, hold on a second. I lost my camera. Bear with me, guys.
We can hear you.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that I can get my camera back up.
Yeah, you lost your camera on the.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll hop back on here in a second. Go into Zoom. Let me go back in. No, that's usually what happens. No. I'm frozen on the screen.
Yeah, now you're blank.
Yeah.
Oop, now you're back to frozen. A lot of guys are putting in their scores. I think Mike is rebooting.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get my webcam back, or my cam link back up. For whatever reason, it went off. But I might have to switch my webcam for whatever reason. It might be having an issue with the Zoom for some reason. Not sure. I could just put up my frozen image, my frozen picture of myself there.
Yeah, for guys who don't know, we were in the process. My wife and I are transitioning back from Delaware. Just drove down 2 days worth to be with Mike here. We're having a house built here about 5 minutes away from where Mike and the grandkids are. And this is going to be our new permanent residence, although we'll still go up to Delaware in the summer because it's too damn hot here. But it's good to be here. Mike and I are in separate rooms, but we'll be watching the game together in about an hour and 20 minutes. A lot of good games today. So even though this is a get even 1-1 on the calendar, the schedule, the Ravens and Kansas City play tonight, and it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure who I'm rooting for. I guess I'm rooting for Kansas City to show them that they can beat up on Baltimore as well as they can beat up on us. Pittsburgh's got an interesting game against the Raiders. Cincinnati, I think, plays the Bears. So that'll be interesting to see which way that go. Burrow has 2 good games in a row or what. And then there's a whole bunch of other, really good games. So obviously we'll be watching ours, and then we'll tune in later on to the afternoon games, and certainly tonight and then
Right.
Monday night as well. So, and I'm sure there's great games on the third week of the schedule too. It just, you got to take them one at a time. And I hope we get to 1-1 today. We don't lay an egg. I don't think we will with this team, with this coaching staff, et cetera, with this talent level. But on any given Sunday, teams step up. Just when you think you're supposed to bury someone, they play out of their shoes. They get all the breaks. I forget which game we were watching last night. I think it was the Penn State game.
Mhm.
And the refs blew call after call. It was like they were incompetent. I can't imagine what their PFF score would be because they had one play where the Penn State back, nobody harassing him. He's got great protection.
Mhm.
The guy runs the wrong route and pulls up, and he heaves it down the field 20 yards over his head. And they call intentional grounding. And I'm thinking, how the hell do you do that? Especially if you have instant replay, which you could look at it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But yeah, granted, there was nobody within 20 yards, but is intentional grounding called when a guy runs the wrong or he falls down? Yeah, he wasn't pressured like somebody was, he was falling down sideways and he heaved it. He was standing up. Nobody touched him. And yet
Right.
the refs got away with that. It was just, but luckily Penn State won the game at the end. So all is forgiven from the fan standpoint. But those refs were, and then get this, on that same series, they had, when they pissed them, they forgot to change the down marker, and they marked it as third down.
Yeah.
And then they threw him to the sidelines, and
Well-
now it's fourth down. They lost a down in the process as well. Clear as day on TV, and the announcers, the coaches yelling, and the referees ignored them, and they just said,
Yeah.
"Sorry, that's the way it is." That's horrible. Let's hope we don't get that kind of officiating today.
Yeah. Well, let's hop into the PFF scores. So we have Newsome who had a 72.6 last week, which is fantastic. John Johnson III had a 55.7. Ronnie Harrison only had a couple snaps and he was a 29.2, but we really can't really do much about that. Our linebackers, Mac Wilson with a 40.5, Malcolm Smith with a 29.6, Taki with a respectable 57.1. Then our guys who get into some other guys who get into the green, Myles Garrett 69, McDowell with a 83, Jackson with a 67, Clowney with a 65, and Denzel Ward with a 74. Then you go out to the nickel and JOK with a 69.5. That to me is the big separation. If you can swap out either Malcolm Smith or Mac Wilson for JOK, that is a massive difference when it comes to all of that, right? So and then on the Texans side, on the offense, Collins with a 50, Amendola with a 71, Pharaoh Brown got an 82.8, which was kind of interesting. Cooks with a 74, Tyrod 71.1, and David Johnson 62.6. I mean, they from an offensive standpoint, not bad. Where they're a little bit weak is on their offensive line. Their left tackle is a 56.9. Their left guard is a 40.9. Their centers is 68.4, right guard 67, and right tackle 80.9. So the left side of their offense is a little bit suspect. Then hopping over to the defensive side for the Texans. Their cornerback Hargreaves is a 66. Their safety Reed is a 64. Eric Murray, the other safety, is a 67. Their other cornerback is Terrence Mitchell with a 62.4. Their linebackers are not much better than ours, to be honest. Actually, I would argue probably worse. Cunningham is a 27. Gruger Hill is a 28. That's bad. That is really, really bad. And then Christian Kirksey, dog check, Christian Kirksey had an 82.9. He had a phenomenal game for them. Their defensive line, Marcelius is a 63.7. Their defensive tackle, Collins, is a 49.1. Their other defensive interior lineman, Blacklock, is a 77.3. And their other defensive end, Omenihu, is a 71.1. So if you're looking at their defense, the only guys that are really bad are their two linebackers, Cunningham and Gruger Hill. Everybody else is very, very serviceable on their defense. Now, again, that was against the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? So we'll see what these PFF scores look like against the Browns. In terms of the Browns, every single player, the worst guy on the Browns last week was Peoples-Jones. He was the worst one, who had a 58. Everybody else was either Teller was a 62, Batonio with a 93.5, which is basically perfect score in PFF. Right. Baker Mayfield had a 75. Hunt had a 72. Chubb had a 75. And Njoku with an 83. Wills with a 72. Conklin 87. Hooper 71. Treader 78. Landry 77. And Njoku, I don't know if I said that, 83.9. I mean, Schwartz with an 82. Schwartz had a really big game, you know. So our offense is scary in terms of PFF. Our offense can play. It's the defense that is really this kind of suspect. But again, it's that was against the Kansas City Chiefs, right?
First time out of the box. A lot of guys never planned. One guy got kicked out. I mean, you can't go on that one other than individual, PFFs. They need to have a couple of games under their belt. They got one now, a full game. And I expect them to communicate well.
Yeah.
I expect them to back up. You and I talked about this over and over and over again. I hate seeing the safety 30 yards down the field in the middle of the field, guarding no one, just trying to prevent. I don't think they got a speedster that they have to worry about. So hopefully they can play up a little bit more. And the safety, gets into the game and makes meaningful plays as opposed to just sitting there and playing with himself. That's the defense. The defense. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Also, Mike, you want to talk about their kicker?
Their kicker's who's Joey Sly?
Yeah.
Okay, so Joey Sly is a ex-Virginia Tech guy who I watched play in college, the whole time he was there. He was an exceptional kicker for the Hokies and played in Carolina for the Carolina Panthers for a little while, and then was not renewed this season. And I think he had a couple different tryouts and ended up on the Texans.
He kicked 3 field goals last week, right down the middle.
Another type redemption story. I think that's what the Texans are as a team. They're a redemption style team. They want to prove to the world that they can all still play.
Right.
And so that is that's what Joey Sly is. And I think that's the unfortunate thing was I was really hoping the Browns were going to take a shot at him because he was a veteran kicker. He was available. And he would have been somebody that I would have had a lot of confidence in if he would have been our kicker. That's another thing that our special teams has got to be better, right? Jamie Gillum, with that drop punt is unforgivable. Our kicker made his kicks, but they weren't confident makes.
They weren't end over end. They were the kind of the knuckleball, inside left, inside right. Made it okay, but you really like to see that ball tumbling over and over and over again. It leads to good distance. It leads to accuracy. It leads to confidence. And Joey Sly was an outdoor kicker too. Virginia Tech. In cold weather, outdoor bad weather, Cleveland down the road. You need somebody who's good in the adverse conditions as well. So yeah, I would like. And they picked him up at the very end. I mean, the last week, just before the season started. They tried him out, and the testings took him, and kicking is going to be important. It was important in the game on Thursday night. As always, you never want it to come down to a field goal, but you drive the team down and you score and you make it look easy, and then if the kid misses the extra point, we wind up with 2 field goals. I mean, that's so depressing. For not only the players, but the fans and everybody else. So let's hope the kid has a good game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the special teams has got to step up and got to play better. I want to see good returns. I want to see good execution. I want to see no penalties.
Right.
You know, all of that stuff is really what we have to do. Prefer knows. I mean, he knows that was a pretty bad performance, and he can't do that and go through the season with that level of execution, because when Jamie Gillum dropped that punt, I mean, it just knocked the living wind out of the team. You know, they fought back, they gave it a shot, but those resulted, between the Nick Chubb fumble and the Jamie Gillum drop punt, that resulted in 10 points, which was ultimately the game. Right? That was the game.
Absolutely. Right? So momentum shifters. Your star player, your star running back who doesn't fumbles the ball in a critical situation. Somebody put their head on the helmet or helmet on the football. He's human. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to drop balls. He's going to fumble, but not that often. So I expect a real come back at you game by Chubb, and I hope they give him the ball. I hope he goes over 100. I hope he scores a couple of touchdowns, and he'll have redemption from one week to the next, and then we move on to the Bears.
Yeah. Well, and that Bears game is going to be interesting too, because that might be the first game that Justin Fields plays. Who knows? Right. So it'll be an interesting one. Again, I believe it's in Cleveland. So, that's another one that we'd have a decent shot. I don't think the Bears are that bad, though. The Bears, there's not a team on our schedule, honestly, that I think is going to be a cakewalk. I really don't. Everybody is going to be decent. But I think we saw the best of the best the first week. And if we can learn from that and put 4 consecutive quarters of football together and then execute on all 3 aspects of the game, I don't think we can be beat. I think we have, on paper, as good a talent as anybody else. And I think that we can make it happen. So
we can beat Baltimore. We can beat Pittsburgh. I don't care if it's home or away. They can certainly beat us, but those games are going to be 3-point separations. 3 points, one way or the other. Cincinnati, we should be able to handle, depending on how Burrow does. But we proved that we could handle him, last year with the limited talent that we had on defense. So we're going to make it rough on him. So we're going to be very, very competitive in our division, in our conference. So it's just something to look forward to, as opposed to dreading having to go to Baltimore, dreading having to play Pittsburgh and get beat up and humiliated and whatnot. That's not going to happen for the next, at least 5 years, I don't think. And it'd be interesting to see what our talent level is and who's on the team 5 years from now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that with us playing at home for the first time, I think this is really going to get the crowd really into it. They're going to be excited. Everybody's going to be cheering. We've got all that excitement about the home opener, right? So it's gonna make for a big game, and I think we're gonna play this one tough. And I think this is also gonna set the stage from a crowd perspective for what it's gonna be like to play in Cleveland for the rest of the season. When teams come to Cleveland to play, we want to make it a very difficult place to be. Right? We don't want to make it a cakewalk by any means.
Yeah,
Jonathan Schlegel with the dog check, $5 super chat. Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
When we had the dog pound rocking, teams hated going down that way and playing right into the teeth of the dog pound. So we need to get some of that swagger back. We need to make some noise. That's why Stefanski said, don't come late. Get out there in your seat before we come through the tunnel, so that we can rock the place and put the fear of God in our opponent on the side of the field,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we want to go out there and make First Energy Stadium feel like a dangerous place to play in.
Sure.
And, although it's definitely not, Municipal Stadium. I mean, it doesn't have that same character that stadium has. I think it's probably a much better overall viewing experience for everybody to be in a more modern stadium, but you definitely don't have the dog pound. that doesn't, that, I mean, it exists, you know, on paper. Like Rostano sits in that. I mean, there's some rowdy fans that are there, but in terms of what it was back in the 80s and 90s, it's not the same thing. But if you can make the whole stadium act like that, then that's great. And it's a great experience. And, you know, hopefully it gets super loud.
Yeah, we watched as I was saying earlier, we watched the Penn State game against Auburn last night in Penn State, Happy Valley. And the stadium, they've increased it tremendously to compete with Ohio State and some of the other big stadiums. And it was packed to the rafters. And it was a sea of white all around the stadium. White, white, white. You know, their colors are white and blue. Their helmets are white, so they go with white. And every fan had a white palm.
Yeah, it's almost like in Pittsburgh where they come out with the towels. You know.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to. I mean, I think those and or in Kansas City where they were all doing the I don't even know what it's called, like type thing, you know. And so yeah, I mean, we don't obviously have anything that's like that, but our stadium can still get super loud, and I think that's the one critical thing for us. We got to be loud.
You got to earn it. The reason we don't have it is because we've had nothing to cheer about until last year.
That's
true.
true.
There's nothing to make somebody go nuts, to get painted up, to wear a funny mask or outfit, or yell and scream, or whatever they do in the dog pound as well. So now we got something. But if we lay an egg today, you know, that all gets put on hold. If we win today, maybe that's the start of the return of the fans being loud and boisterous and passionate about their team.
Sure.
And especially when it gets down to the fourth quarter, that we can put some pressure on them, besides the wind and besides the cold later in the season, that the fans can make a difference and give us that 3-point advantage, home field advantage when you got your stands packed to the gills.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, this is going to be a fun one. I think we're going to have a good time today. I think we're going to be able to sit back, watch the Browns run all over these guys. I think we're going to score some fun points, and it's all going to be a really good time. Hopefully, like you said, no injuries, nothing bad happens that costs us, something long term. I really just hope that it is a safe and fun game, and we get in and out of the game without any damage done, because these are the games that, if somebody gets hurt today, this is like one of those that, well, man, we're going to win it anyway. It's almost like it's like, let's just get out of the game without anything bad happening. That's what I'm really hoping for.
I agree. And the first series is going to be interesting either way. If we win the toss, we defer, so we put the defense on the field first. Let's see if we can get a 3-and-out. And if we don't, we lose the toss. They take the second half kickoff. We get the ball. I want us to drive down. Nothing heroic. Short passes, quick releases, Chubb up the middle, then Hunt back and forth, and go down and score 7 points. I mean, that would be what I want to see, one way or the other, whether we have the ball or we don't have the ball. That's what I'm hoping that first series will be like.
Okay, let's do the T-shirt giveaway. Everybody right now, type in a number. Everybody in chat, a number. You only get to type in one number, so if you type in more than one, you're disqualified. Type in a number from 1 to 100. Whoever gets closest to this number will win the jersey. The T-shirt. The T-shirt. And my number is in. Hands are off the keyboard. So type in your number now, and good luck to everybody for Sabo Apparel.
Great.
Yeah, and then hopefully, if we win this game, we'll be able to give away our Victory Monday mug that Cleveland Clothing Co. has offered up for the season, which is great. As everybody's typing in your numbers, this is a good time to ask, hey, hit the like button. If you're in the video right now and you have not hit the like button yet, think of the like button as your entry into the Sabo Apparel sweepstakes. All right, so hit that like button now. Let's get that going. and everybody hop on, and we'll do that. And then also Ara, I'm going to send you a special gift as well for being the first joined member. So we have Ara and my channel who have both joined the channel today, which I think is awesome. We have 2 new members, our first 2 founding members of the channel.
Great.
If you want to be another founding member of the channel, go ahead and click that join button and join us. You get you get a little badge on next to your name, plus you get access to those emojis, which are a lot of fun. Okay. We're getting close. So it looks like we still got still some potential numbers out there. I'll give everybody a chance. Yeah, but I mean, and Sabo Apparel, just such good guys. They're small business, veteran owned. They make some awesome stuff, so you'll have a choice of whatever T-shirt you want from them. And they were with us last year. They're going to be with us again. Really, really awesome people.
Good.
Yeah, and I think Ristano. I'm texting with Ristano. He's trying to dial in, but let me try to get an update.
There's no cell service in the lot?
I'll call when we were at our seats, wanting me. Oh, he was being wanded because he bought the pendant, like the Browns helmet pendant, which I think is pretty awesome. Still some numbers coming in, so I don't want to end the sweepstakes just yet. Again, hit that like button. You have to hit the like button as well. Maybe I'll make that a requirement. If you have not hit the like button, you can't win. So hit the like button for us as well. And also, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We do our pre- and post-game shows every week for the Browns, plus a Wednesday show midweek with me and Ristano that my dad sometimes joins.
Right.
And yeah, so we'll have a lot of fun all season long, keep doing some giveaways, building up the channel, getting everybody rocking and rolling. All right, it looks like the numbers have stopped. The number was 79, and all right, Graham McFarland with a 77. Cleveland BCI with a 79. So he hit the nail on the head. Cleveland BCI, congratulations. You win the t-shirt.
Yeah,
You win the t-shirt from Sabo Apparel. Had a couple other people that were close. Pat O'Connor had a 75. Alex M had a 77. But Cleveland BCI nails it. Congratulations. Cleveland BCI, send me an email at browniepostgame@gmail.com with your name, address, t-shirt size, and whatever shirt you want from Sabo Apparel. And we'll get that sent out to you. So again, browniepostgame@gmail.com and name, address, t-shirt size, and what shirt you want from Sabo Apparel. We'll get that out to you.
Great.
Okay, guys. I think we're right up at an hour right now. So
Right.
we're going to probably call it so we can get all settled in for the game. So everybody, thank you very much. Appreciate it, Ara. Appreciate it, my channel. Thank you for joining. And John Schlegel for the super chat. I appreciate that as well. Everybody, again, click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you feel fit to do so. And Mr. Dark CR, welcome. So everybody, thank you for joining. We will be back around 4 o'clock for the post-game show, hopefully celebrating a victory.
Right.
And let's get some go chat in the go Browns in the chat. Let's get it going. Go Browns in the chat, and we will see you in the post-game show.
Go Brownies.
Go Brownies.